Oh, no, no! Ah, damn it, I lost.
Tell me about it.
Freaking vagabond.
What are you two doing here? How did you get into my house?
Duel Links, man. We can do it anywhere. Might as well be in here in person.
Huh. So, want to talk about a new Yu-Gi-Oh movie?
Sure. It's not like we got anything better to do at this point.
Oh, boy. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Double X, and I'm here with my pal Code 9001 and my lovely girlfriend Mariah.
Hi.
Yep.
And we're here to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. So for those who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions follows after the ending of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. We have all of our favorite characters, Yugi, Joey, Taya, Tristan, and Bakura, and follow them as we see that they have their senior year of high school and about to graduate and continue on with their new lives. All the meanwhile, we have this mysterious student that apparently they know, yet somehow forget at the same time. And ultimately, this student is essentially your token bad guy who ends up trying to erase the memories of the Pharaoh, and in turn, Yugi, and thus we have lots more complicated schemes of them trying to rewrite the world in their own image. Also, Kaiba trying to win a duel with the Pharaoh because he's that type of rival.
Yeah. Not to mention that, like, with how complex this evil plan is, this has more complication and plot holes, mind you, than the entirety of Kingdom Hearts plot. And I speak as a dedicated fan.
I second this.
That being said, it's not too many plot holes as if to say, like, when compared, the thing about this movie is that I like both the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie and this movie as well. I'm iffy on Bonds Beyond Time because those had more plot holes than time traveling references.
Yeah, it had more potholes than the potholes in Pennsylvania.
Let's leave the time travel S1s for another time.
Yes. The thing with this, like, first off, this movie was banking on the fact of nostalgia because everybody wanted to see some more stories told from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because everyone has great memories of the original and memories with the other series as well, but, you know, first is always the best. I mean, that's kind of like a unspoken rule. And I gotta say, I was not disappointed with this movie because it was fantastic. First off, the animation was unbelievably top-notch, but I think that's a given considering how well animation with anime films especially has come these days.
Yeah, they really went all out for this. Not just with all the references of the budget, but there was so much love put into this film, you could easily tell that this was made for the fans. And even though, like, I can't speak if any fans were actually working on it, but Eric Stewart himself, yes, the voice actor of both Brock from Pokemon and Seto Kaiba himself, was a major writer in this film.
Yes, and it definitely shows because you can tell that he was having fun just being all the cockiness of Kaiba. And not to mention his elevator into space.
You're dueling me with fruit?
I feel like a lot of the best lines in this movie in particular went to Kaiba for one simple reason and one reason only.
Screw the rules, I have money.
Yep, it was very well done, and I really did like the lore, actually. Like, we're not going to spoil anything, but there is a piece of the lore from the original series that almost comes full circle for a specific character that it also ties in with the origin story for our main villain. And I actually really appreciate how they fitted that in. Because for that specific piece of lore, you didn't know too much other than it was there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of the Millennium items from the original series, the only ones that were really utilized the most were obviously the puzzle, because main character, the Millennium Eye, because Pegasus had it, which, speaking of which, he was missing. Like, not even a mention of him.
Yeah, that was. I'm mad that they actually didn't because they had all the other Millennium items. They had, references to certain characters that I will not mention due to spoilers.
Because of major spoilers.
Yeah, but the fact that that Pegasus was not.
Not even like a throwaway line was mentioned.
Yeah.
Or even like a poster. Or even like...
Well, I'm sure there may have been something we missed, but...
Also, I do have to appreciate something how they actually with like the time gap between the eras, they actually made the characters a little bit older, seeing as also senior year. Like for one, and noticeably taller Yugi. That's a very good plus.
He finally has growth spurt.
Yes, and also Mokuba looks a lot different and isn't entirely insufferable.
But for some reason, sounds a lot like Tails.
And the villain, I was actually very intrigued by the villain as well.
Oh yeah,
The villain actually made me second guess, like that. The whole point of the villain, I think, was to like second guess his morals, and not only that, his objective for the entire movie, and that was like spot on. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that I felt like was like the most mature of any complexity any villain has, of whether or not what they're doing is morally right, despite obviously still wanting to do it.
Yes, and obviously his villain arc is definitely better than any of the other previous two Yu-Gi-Oh movies. I mean, the first one we had Anubis who just wanted revenge on the Pharaoh, and then we had what was it?
I don't remember.
I didn't remember that time traveling dude. Oh, Paradox.
Paradox, that's what it was.
Yeah. Very interesting name. Not.
Right.
And his reason of dueling and trying to destroy the world is because dual monsters ended the world and made it into Armageddon.
And he does it by dueling them in a card game.
Yeah.
Gee, I just realized the irony of his name.
This villain, which I just blanked on the name, we'll just add like subtitles here, but basically, yeah, this villain is very complex, and I gotta say, it was a joy to watch. Also, there's lots of good humor with this, like, and not only with the nostalgia trip of just having our characters back in voice, and like all the original voice actors, for the most part, coming back for our characters, with the exception of Grandpa.
Yes, for very clear reasons.
But yeah, it was just wonderful. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I would agree to that, especially like I was getting on before with Eric Stewart being the writer. I felt like a lot of the lines was given the Kaiba, being mainly because
Love to you, Eric Stewart.
Well, not only that also helps, but the fact that I feel like, and this is just my personal theory, I have no idea if he actually does, where he's actually watched Little Kribo's Abridged series, as we made that joke earlier, and took actual notes to say, how can I make this entertaining and a good blowout?
And, like, they made it entertaining, but not, like, also another, I hate to do some comparison to the first movie, because I still enjoyed it, even if it wasn't all that perfect, but what I liked about the first movie is also, like, they made the action and, like, build up with, like, also the cards, yet not make it too much of it, like, a selling point, like, look at these brand new cards, buy them. They didn't, like, make it too much on a focus, but still, they made, like,
it was more subtle, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, like it was more the presentation of the strong battles within the dueling, as opposed to just like, hey, look at these cards, buy them.
It definitely felt like you were actually there witnessing all that because of how grand the animation was and how much time and dedication was obviously put into this.
The theater we went to, there was so much cheering, there was so much laughter. I mean, hell, even Yuki gets to call all Kaiba out in one scene. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that was.
And we will not give any more information on that away.
It was beautiful. It was truly
beautiful. You guys
beautiful.
got it. If y'all are out there, you need to, and you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, you need to see this movie, especially if you're a fan of the original series.
Legally, anyway. What do we say for our ranking on this one?
Well, I give it an A+.
A+, 5 stars, 10 out of 10 would see.
Well, I'll go above and beyond and give it a good old S rank.
Thanks again for watching, guys. Be sure to tune in for other videos on my channel. Thank you for Code 9001 for joining me, and for my girlfriend, who you might be seeing more of later on my channel.
Hopefully.
As always, I'm Double X, and I will see you next time.
So now that we're done with this, can we go back to Duel Links? Because I feel like we're too addicted to that now.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
okay, yeah, let's go.
Let's get Vagabond.
Oh, yes. This bastard's going down.